In Omaha, Papillion, and across the country via the Schrock desk, this is Compute This.
Good morning, folks. Welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion. 866-496-8772 is the number to join us on the program today. If you want to ask a question, make a comment, you get yourself in that drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Also, we provide help outside of the Omaha, Lincoln, and Papillion metro areas over the Schrock desk. So if you're listening to this show someplace that's not in Nebraska or, far, far, far western Iowa, like Council Bluffs, you can always get some help from us over the Schrock desk if you need it. And to do that, you just give us a call in the service center, and then we give you a code. We get connected over the Schrock desk, and we can actually see your screen, use your keyboard and mouse, and give you the help that you need. All right, so we're also live broadcasting this morning, just barely, on Facebook, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. I don't know what the deal is, but the page took like 5 minutes to load, and it wasn't my browser, it wasn't my computer, it was Facebook. So I don't know what the deal is, but apparently there must be a lot of political ads or something, I don't know, going on, slowing Facebook down. So we are live on Facebook, but there is no description for the show today. It just says Compute This, because that's all I had time to type before we literally hit go when we were going live on the air. So hang with us there. If you want to watch the show, you can. If you miss part of the show and you want to go back and listen to the rest of it later, you can do so. We post these shows, of course, on Facebook. We post the video. We also post them over at SchrockInnovations.com for those people who don't want to use Facebook. 866-496-8772. This morning, before I was going on the air, the producer asked, am I going to weave the any of the stories, the news here, the shootings or the bombers or whatever else into the show today? And there is one small thread that connects this to a story that I almost covered yesterday or last week. It feels like yesterday, last time I talked to you guys. I feel like we talk every day almost, There was a story basically, and I talked to my wife about this, when I'm mentioning Facebook here, a lot of people are scaling back their use of social media, not just Facebook, but all the way around. If you look at Snapchat, they're getting destroyed. They're losing people left and right. Their stock is tanking. Facebook, same problem. When you ban half your audience for expressing the views that they want to express, you're going to lose half your audience. And so your stock gets knocked when you lose subscribers. Well, that's what's happening. People are backing out of their Facebook accounts, and Facebook makes all their money by selling your personal data. So, gosh, that's a problem. And now they're trying to make it nice like they don't do that, but everybody does that. It's a free platform. You always pay for things, guys. There's always a cost for free things. And the cost in this case is Facebook sells your data. And that's the transaction. It'd be nice if they came right out and said, we're going to do that, and then made it really clear to people, but they don't. But that's the transaction. That's what's happening for the use of the free platform. So Schrock Innovations has a Facebook page. To give Schrock Innovations a Facebook page, I'm required to have a Facebook page. And because I'm required to have a Facebook page, there's data that it knows about me, and it sells that data to people, tries to figure out what I'm interested in, probably computers and radio shows, I guess, and then moves forward. So there are alternative social media platforms out there. And this is the story I just didn't, it was one of those fringe stories. It was kind of like, it might be interesting to some people and it might not be interesting to other people. So yeah, there's other things I can cover that are more interesting. But one of those platforms that we were going to talk about was Gab, Gab.com, Gab.com. Gab is very much like Twitter, except it has a couple different aspects to it. So first of all, Gab is completely decentralized. So that means there is no overreaching company running the platform that can ban people. So it's a free speech platform. You can say anything you want, as vile and as disgusting, whatever your views are. Then you can also, the Pope could have his own Gab, and say whatever he needed to say. Anybody can say anything on Gab, and there's no censorship. There's nothing. So you form a pod, right? And in your pod consists of other like-minded people in various subjects. So you could have a pod for, heart disease. You could have a pod for, Democrats. You could have a pod for Republicans. And within the pod, you see things that other people are posting within your pod. So it's very much like Facebook, except you at least know up front that you're in an echo chamber. Because it doesn't matter what your views are, whether you're conservative or liberal or whatever. If you're on Facebook, You're seeing views of people you like, and the views that you don't want to see, Facebook tracks how fast you scroll down the page. So if you see a post, from President Trump and you zip past it because you don't want to see it anymore, Facebook isn't going to show you stuff like that anymore. They're actually good like that. So Gab is this completely decentralized platform, and within the pod, if you have a pod, let's say you have a pod for Trump, right? The MAGA pod, okay? And in the MAGA pod, some guy goes spouting off about how all the Jews are terrible, or whatever this it was the shooter, right? The shooter was the guy who had a problem with Jewish people. Okay, so let's say you have a problem with Jewish people, so you're going to go to this pod like this guy did on Gab, and you're going to post about it. Well, you know what happens? People within the pod don't want to hear that, so they block you. They don't ban you. They choose as individuals not to listen to you. It's very much like, growing up in the 80s. You could go to school and say whatever stupid stuff you wanted to say, but if you said too much stupid stuff, you got socially shunned. You just didn't have any friends. Nobody wanted to hang around you anymore. It's just like that. And so now what happened is Gab actually got, what was it? PayPal announced right after the shooter thing happened. Gab monetizes some of their stuff and processes their payments through PayPal and Braintree and affiliated networks of PayPal. Within hours of this shooting happening and the media realizing that this gentleman had a Gab profile, PayPal immediately stopped serving Gab. They literally banned their ability to take money, which is a really quick way to kill something, right? To their credit, Gab actually realized that this guy had a Gab platform, immediately took down the platform. They took down his platform, his account so fast that how there's always somebody on the internet that finds like something like, oh, here's his Twitter account, and yeah, Twitter took it down, but before they did, we were able to get copies of everything that was on there, and we posted that to our Twitter account so you can see it now. They took it down so fast that the media is like, all we were able to get were these few posts. All we really know is he really did not like Jewish people, and he thought they all had to die, and there were posts that he hates Trump. That's all we were able to figure out before Gab took the profile down. They took it down that fast. Then Gab issued a statement about how they don't support these views in any way, but they do support the rights of people to say things that they want to say. Now, obviously, this guy is a complete nut job. But even nut jobs have the right to say the things they want to say. And we support free speech. And PayPal defunded them, basically. So it's interesting because Gab was one of those go-to platforms as Twitter's banning, conservative voices. A lot of conservatives are ending up on Gab instead because it's the closest thing to Twitter. They don't even have an iPhone app, for heaven's sake. I mean, it's like they're that new. But the nice thing about it is you can say whatever you want. So it's interesting to watch how the social media environment is changing over time based on the reactions of, you ban half your audience and half your audience goes away. And the funny thing is, right now, Gab is known as kind of a place where either social rejects hang out or conservatives. And some people would say those two might be the same. Given what's going on all the other social networks. But once those platforms get enough traction, you're going to start to see blending of other views coming back and forth across. Remember, not everybody joined Twitter at first either. I joined Twitter. I didn't understand it at first because I was like, why does anybody want to know what I had for breakfast? What am I going to tweet? I don't have anything important to say. Getting up for work today. Okay. And of course, then it evolved over time where people realized that everybody has something that they can say on Twitter. And so then people got Twitter accounts. And then, as we all know, that evolved into a political phenomenon. So anyway, that is the one aside that we can take from the technological perspective of what's hot and popular in the news right now. 866-496-8772. Good morning to all those people on Facebook saying good morning. Mary, Brian, Loanne, Dennis, Marcia, good morning to you as well. Today coming up on the program, headline, Windows 10 or worst Windows 10 version ever. Microsoft's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad October. It's a play on a kid's book, really bad day kind of thing. Microsoft released the Windows 10 October 2018 update on October 2nd, as most of you know. Then they pulled it days later, as most of you know. Now, with November fast approaching, the update still has not been re-released. Where is the problem, and when will it happen? Okay, so that's coming up on the program. That's probably going to be one of the first things we take off there. Okay, and it's getting to be this time of year again, guys. I have specifically avoided talking about the holiday special computers laptop and desktop. I have specifically not talked about the kick butt new holiday catalogs that the lovely Kimberly is constructing and spending blood, sweat, and tears on, so that you guys have really nice catalogs to look at with really cool pictures of the computers and descriptions and helpful. She's asking me for pro tips for the catalog. What kind of pro tips? And she's like, I heard you say something on the radio the other day about sleep mode. And I thought, my computer goes to sleep. I shouldn't let it go to sleep. And she goes, what's that pro tip? Write that up and email it to me. And then I'm okay, I'm writing pro tips, So the catalog is going to be really cool. But I haven't been talking about that, because if you start talking about Christmas before Halloween, okay, let's just say, go to Michael's. Okay, and guys, I know come on. Go to Michael's, go to Hobby Lobby, except on Sunday, and don't stand in the Christmas aisle, because then you're the creepy guy standing in the Christmas aisle. You're not Santa. Stand near the Christmas aisle. And when you stand near the Christmas aisle, you'll hear people coming in and saying things like, oh, I can't believe they already have their Christmas stuff out and it's September. You'll hear stuff like that. What they don't realize is, for any of you out there who make things for Christmas, if you make crafts or gifts for people for Christmas, you realize that they take time, and you need Christmas-related materials to make them months ahead of time. So especially at crafting stores, they tend to put the stuff out early. So people get a little grumpy if you start talking about Christmas too early. Well, one of the things that happens before Christmas is Thanksgiving. And what happens before Thanksgiving? Not Halloween, Black Friday. Although now it starts before Thanksgiving, but then it goes through, the rest of the year basically now. So Costco is the first company to kick off the Black Friday ad, quote unquote, leak. Yeah, Costco has leaked their Black Friday ad. Some employee probably found a copy laying on the break room floor and decided to post it to Costco.com. All right, so specials this season. You can get yourself an Apple tablet for $200 off over at Costco. Also, of course, there are laptops. There are some HP laptops there that you can get an HP Pavilion HD screen, Windows 10, Core i7, graphics card built into it. They don't tell you how much memory it has. Oh, here we go. 16 gigs of RAM and a 1 terabyte hard drive, which is really, on the surface, that looks a lot like the holiday special, doesn't it? 16 gigs of RAM, a terabyte hard drive, i7 processor, $300. Oh, $300 off. Black Friday. We thought that was $300. You stood in line for how long? Oh, golly. No, it's $800. But even this is not the holiday special. So 16 gigs of memory. Yep, it's 16 gigs is 16 gigs. But did you know, pro tip, memory has speed. And the slower the memory, the less it costs. The faster the memory, the more it costs. There's DDR3 memory and DDR4 memory. This one's using DDR4. But some of these computers that are going to be released on Black Friday are using DDR3 memory because it's a lot cheaper, because nobody wants it anymore. DDR4 memory, you see, is faster. So memory has speed. But all you see on the card is 16 gigs of RAM. And if you didn't know that the 8th generation Core i7 processor requires DDR4 memory, because, we all know these things. Heck, I once put diesel fuel in an unleaded engine in an ambulance, okay? We all know these things, right? There's gas and there's diesel. And gas is gas is gas. No, it's not. There's gas and there's diesel. It's different, okay? It's not like I have unleaded gasoline, I have leaded gasoline, I have, premium gasoline, and I have diesel gasoline. No, that might be how a stupid young computer repair tech who had bought an ambulance to try to drive around and fix computers in, he might have thought that. But come on, any intelligent person isn't going to know that, or is going to know that gasoline and diesel are different. Well, the same thing. If you don't know that the i7 processor requires DDR4 memory, you might be led astray here. Let's see, what else do we got? Going down the list here, okay, it's got a nice screen. It is a touch screen, so that's good, but it's not a 2-in-1. So it's a regular laptop interface. No DVD drive, which is pretty common anymore. 2 USB ports, that's it. No USB-C or USB 3.1. And it's got a little card reader on the side, and it's $800. The holiday special laptop, guys, this does not come with a solid-state hard drive. That's another thing. They say it's got a 1 terabyte hard drive. So when you go shopping for computers, people look at 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, and they say, I'm going to buy the 2 terabyte because it's bigger and it's the same price. Not realizing, bum, 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 hard drives have speeds. Yes, that's right. They can be 5,400 RPM, which is what your standard 2 terabyte hard drive is, which, okay, let's look at it this way. You're driving down the interstate and you have 3 lanes to choose from. In the far right-hand lane, you have 5,400 RPM Pinto Man who's driving along. He's going to get to where he's going, but it's going to take him all day. And that's when you wonder, what's the minimum on the interstate again? They keep raising the maximum speed limit, but they never raise the minimum. Funny how that is. In the middle lane, you have Mr. 7,200 RPM hard drive. That's what this HP has for $800. In the middle lane, he's going the speed limit. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's going to take some time to get where he's going. It might take 3 or 4 minutes to boot his computer, but it'll get there. And then in the left lane, this is where the Schrock modular computers hang out. This is where the Schrock solid state laptops hang out. This is the solid state lane. And you see the solid state lane is that guy who runs up the rear of your vehicle so fast that you can't get over fast enough because it's going that fast. This is the 115 mile an hour lane where you're outrunning cruisers that are chasing you like Smokey and the Bandit style, okay? That's the solid state lane. This computer does not have a solid state from HP. And so when you put together a computer that doesn't have a solid state, that has slower memory, that has a motherboard that probably has the minimum of components required to get the processor and everything to work together, because motherboards have interconnectivity speeds as well for the bridges on the board. How fast can it talk? So you can take a computer that it looks really good on that 3x5 card, lots of memory, lots of hard drive, 8th generation processor, awesome stuff. It's $800. I can't believe that Schrock is trying to sell me the same thing for $1,500. What a moron. I'm going to totally get this HP, and then you'll be back to buy another one 18 months later. 866-496-8772. So what we're going to do today, guys, a little bit on the show, it's not going to be a commercial for Schrock's products, okay? I freely admit I'm biased about which computer I think you should buy, but you're going to be shopping for tech this year. And so we're going to do just a quick segment after the break here on what to look for when you buy a computer, what to look for when you buy a laptop, and what to look for when you buy a tablet. So those 3 things, we're going to go through those just to make sure no matter where you buy your tech, whether you buy from Schrock or you buy from a box store or you buy it online, that you are informed and you can get technology that's going to impress people, because nothing is worse than giving the iPad knockoff accidentally to somebody that's running Android who thinks they're getting an iPad. That's not cool. So we'll talk about that one too. Farming. Do you know now that they're using all these satellites and things in farming so that you can tell what crops are being planted around your land, so you know what to plant on your land? Interesting stuff there. So farming is really taking a 21st century pump. We're going to take a look at that a little bit today. The majority of the county election websites in 20 key swing states. So there's 20 key swing states where we're looking at House of Representatives races, right? Who's going to have control of the House? Almost all of the counties that make up those states. So think about Nebraska and how many counties do we have in Nebraska? Most, and all those counties have websites. Most of the county websites in these 20 swing states don't even have basic security on their websites. They're completely hackable. They're not even .gov domains. They're just completely hackable websites that the county put together. So we're going to talk about that. So when you start hearing about close election results or hacked counties, yeah, that's what's going on there. All right, so guys, and of course, your calls, 866-496-8772. While I freely admit it's fun to listen to me talk for an entire hour, I'd really like to have calls, because then you guys ask questions, we can help you out, we get answers, and honestly, there's no such thing as a silly question. So if you have a question and you think, oh, I don't want to seem silly when I ask this, ask the question, because if you have that same question, it's just like back in school where so many other people in the class have the same question as you, but you're the only one brave enough to raise your hand and dial those digits. All right, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, more of Compute This coming up next.
Schrock Innovations Data Recovery Lab saves the data the other guys can't. The next time your hard drive, camera card, or flash drive fails, let Schrock get your data back. External hard drives are handy. You can back up multiple computers to them or even use them to move lots of data from one computer to another. Computer users have been buying the same old external hard drives for years. While our computers have been getting faster, we still do backups that take hours or watch epic progress bars creep by to move files. Schrock wanted more for our customers, so our innovators created the fastest external hard drives on the planet. Schrock modular storage devices are up to 50% faster than Seagate or Western Digital externals and are modular in the truest sense of the word. We can create whatever size and speed of drive you need for all of your needs. And all modular storage devices come with a data restoration guarantee. If you use our drives for backing up and your computer's hard drive fails, we'll restore your backup to your repaired computer for free. Fast, simple, and flexible technology solutions from Schrock Innovations. It's what we do. Compute This Pro Tip 178. Those little life-saving surge protector strips are vital to your computer's health and should be used whenever possible, even for laptops. As computers get smaller and more powerful, they're also becoming more sensitive to dirty power, and your power is a lot dirtier than you might think. Even if you have a whole home surge protection, most power surges are generated within your own home. If you've ever vacuumed and seen the lights get dimmer and brighter, you created a surge. Surge protectors can only absorb so much energy measured in joules. When that capacity is exhausted, your surge protector becomes a glorified extension cord and needs to be replaced. You should always look for surge protectors that give audible alerts when they're no longer able to protect your equipment. Schrock recommends these because the lights on most strips are just power lights and they don't tell you when it's time to replace the unit. If in doubt, replace your surge protectors annually to keep your expensive TVs, computers, and other electronic equipment safe. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
All right, welcome back in, folks, to Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion, where we can fix your computers. Of course, duh. We can recover data off those hard drives that are failing for you. I mean, that's a terrible situation to be in. And having a local recovery lab, then, of course, I say local, and yes, I know we're on radio in Des Moines, too, and we're not exactly local in Des Moines yet. But here's the thing. When you have that local lab, we have all the equipment in Omaha. We do the work in Omaha. As a result, you're paying Midwest prices for data recovery, as opposed to when you ship it out to California or one of the coasts, and you're paying coastal prices. That can be up to 50% less, guys. And when I say up to, I don't mean like, you know, one job out of 20 is a little bit cheaper. I mean, like, our data recovery cost, like the lowest price to get into the lab and get something recovered is $400. The lowest price at Drive Savers is $1,300. So when I say that we're a lot less expensive on data recovery, still people still complain about the cost because it's still expensive. I mean, $400 is still bad, and of course, you know, $400 is the price if the drive is physically healthy. If we have to open the drive up, yeah, then it gets a little more expensive because we have to open the drive and replace parts. But it's still half the price of what it would be on a coast. We do website design and development. I don't talk about that nearly as much as I should, but the holiday season's coming, guys. And if you own a business or you have a church or an organization, the time is almost up for you to get anything done with that website before the holiday season. I'm going to talk a little bit about website security for the county websites, and I bet those of you who have your own websites that are listening right now will fall in the exact same boat as these county websites. So we're going to talk about that a little bit on the program, but we design websites as well as custom software. We don't talk about that ever at all. We have corporate service agreements where if you have a small business, typically 20 computers or less, Schrock Innovations is specifically geared to affordably handling your IT needs for as little as $275 per computer per year. Compare that to some of the larger service providers that want thousands of dollars a month, and $275 per computer per year is affordable for the company that has 2 computers. You know, and you can have your own IT guy on demand when you need him. You don't have to employ that guy. It works out really well. So at Schrock, we're a start to finish organization. Whether you're just a basic home user that wants to make sure your computer is secured and works well and works fast, we have everything that you need to get that taken care of. If you're a small business owner, we've got you covered. If you're a big business owner, we've got you covered. If you're a website designer, developer, and you need outsourcing assistance, we've got you covered. All of our stuff is done right in our service centers locally, right here in Nebraska. 866-496-8772. All right. Funny story. We're going to take a quick break here for the bottom of the hour. But before we go, if you were listening during the commercial break there was a spot about surge protectors. And it was funny because, like it says, if you've ever vacuumed, you turn the vacuum on, the lights get dimmer. And when you turn the vacuum off, the lights go up again. The other day, the lovely Kimberly and I, she, like I said, she's busting her butt on these catalogs for you guys. And so, Friday is our date day normally. So I don't work on Friday because otherwise if she lets me, I'd work every day of the week. So I don't work Friday. And we go out and we spend the day together so that we have time. We get a babysitter for the kids for the whole day in the evening. We go out, we do any errands that need to be run that we couldn't really do with the kids. We go out to have a nice dinner, maybe take in a movie, just spend some reconnecting time. I'd recommend that strongly for anybody. I mean, it does wonders for both of us and both of us together for the whole family. Now, the funny thing is we're kind of up against it right now going into the holiday season. So we have work to do, right? So there's time to have fun. There's time to work. And the lovely Kimberly has the kids all the time. So her time to work now would be Friday. So she needs to get some stuff done for the catalog. So, she is just literally slaving away on this catalog, working as hard as she can possibly work. And meanwhile, I'm like, doing everything I can to make her comfortable. I'm like, hey, we have this, it's like a fake fireplace heater. Because we're hiding it up in our bedroom. There's a table up there. We're hiding up there so the kids don't know we're home, And so there's this fireplace on the wall, and it's one of those things like it's electric, and you can hit the remote on it, and it like has fake flames on it, so it looks all nice like a fireplace. But then it has like an actual electric heater in it too that you can turn on that'll push the heat out. So I'm looking at this remote, and I haven't touched it in a year, right? Because why would you? And I'm like, okay, power. Okay, there's the flame. Oh, I can make the flames bigger or smaller. Here's the heater button, and I push the heater button. And everything on the second floor dims. I'm like, whoa. We look up, I turn off the heater button, everything gets bright again. And then like a little monkey with a button, I'm like, click, 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 and bright, dim, bright, dim. Look at that. And Kim's like, you're going to fry all of our computers. Oh, I can't say that on the air. And I was like, yeah, I probably should stop doing that. So yes, surges are generated from within the home. And if you are as intelligent as this monkey, pushing the button, you might want to make sure if you haven't checked your surge protectors in the last year, now's a really good time to check them out, especially this time of year where you have air conditioners and heaters going on and off at the same time. All right, 866-496-8772, bottom of the hour break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Black Friday sales, what you should look for, what you should look out for, what you need to know when you buy a laptop, desktop, or tablet computer. We're also going to talk about this Windows 10 update, and people are asking questions on Facebook Live right now, facebook.com/rockinnovations. I don't have the update yet. Should I wait? Should I buy Safe Upgrade? What should I do? We're going to answer those questions for you coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations repair technicians also make house calls. Make an appointment and let us bring our award-winning computer support right to your home or business. Schrock Innovations has spent nearly 2 decades working to make your technology life easier, and the all-new SchrockInnovations.com is no exception. Now you can order new modular computers and solid-state laptops directly from our website, secure your computer with our virus-free guaranteed Symantec endpoint software, find innovative new technologies like our modular storage devices, and get free help and tips. Take a look at the special section to find sales on one-of-a-kind items, display models, refurbished units, and our latest special offers. Swing by the Compute This page to watch TV segments and archived radio shows, or even get one-on-one help through the Schrock Desk. As always, we respect your privacy, so we secure our website with the latest encryption technology and only the most secure payment methods. You can pick up your purchases at any of our 3 service centers or have them shipped directly to your door. The new SchrockInnovations.com makes technology simple. It's what we do. Get this pro tip 423. Everyone knows you need an antivirus and firewall program for your computer, but which one is the best? Should you use the free ones, pay for a commercial product, or maybe even the free stuff your internet service provider gives you? The absolute worst thing you can do is to install nothing. Windows 10 comes with Windows Defender, but Microsoft never intended it to be your primary antivirus product. Free antivirus like AVG or Avast are more effective than Windows Defender, but Consumer Reports ranks the free antivirus products in the middle of the pack compact when compared to their commercial competitors. As for the free software from your internet provider, forget about it. It's designed to protect their network, not your computer. There are two products that trade the crown for best antivirus software year after year. Schrock recommends Symantec products like Endpoint, but the Russian-made Kaspersky antivirus program also does an outstanding job. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News, I'm Carol McHugh. Charges are filed against the Pittsburgh synagogue shooter.
Federal prosecutors have now charged the suspect, Robert Bowers, with 29 charges, including hate crime charges. Attorney General Jeff Sessions said those charges will open up the possibility of the death penalty in this case. Now, the FBI says at this point they don't believe the 46-year-old was on law enforcement's radar before shooting. The FBI is also investigating his social media accounts and the possibility that he announced his intentions before the shooting on there.
Fox's Garrett Tenney, 11 were killed, 6 wounded. The Boston Red Sox are this close to another World Series crown.
Down 4-0 versus the Dodgers in Los Angeles Saturday night. The Red Sox scored 3 runs in the 7th inning, 1 in the 8th, and 5 more in the 9th to beat LA 9-6 to take a commanding 3-1 lead in the best-of-7 series.
Fox's Jared Max, this is Fox News.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
Cool and still a little breezy to start off the day. Temperatures in the low to mid 40s. Now, we will see plenty of sunshine, and those winds will be letting up as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures climbing to about 55 to 57 degrees by lunchtime, topping out in the low to mid 60s across most of the area this afternoon. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist David Keller on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion, 866-496-8772. That's the number to join us on the program today, and that's what Steve has done. Steve, welcome to the show. How can I help you on Compute This?
Well, I got a problem. Overnight, the thing, if you don't use it, it shuts down. I got a Dell Inspiron laptop, and I went to start it up yesterday, and it says it won't light up. And right now, I'm staring at the automatic repair. Couldn't repair your PC.
Okay.
2 choices: shut down or advanced options.
Okay. So you said something earlier that when your computer, if you were using it, if you didn't use it for a long time, it stopped working, or what were you?
Well, yeah, just overnight. If you didn't go in and shut it down before you went to bed, so it automatically shuts down or something.
It was going into sleep mode, probably. It wasn't, and it's not coming back out of sleep mode.
Apparently.
Okay. Is it a desktop or a laptop?
Laptop.
Okay. So basically, what I tell my customers, especially, and this is one of the things, this is the pro tip that's going to be in the catalog, or one of them. When you have a computer that is plugged into AC power, whether that's a laptop or a desktop, you don't want to have the sleep settings turned on for AC power. Sleep settings were designed back in the 90s for computers to save energy when they're not being used. So everybody in the office goes to lunch, all those CRTs, all those TVs on your desk turn off. When they turn off, they save the company a lot of dollar-wise energy. And that's a good thing, right? So basically, when they turn off, that saves a lot of power. Well, now with LED screens and everything else, they're not using hardly any power at all. And you can set the screen to turn off still, but you can also set the computer to stay on all the time, because the computer will turn off its own internal components when they're not needed, like the hard drive or the DVD drive, for example. So basically, if you go into your power management options, now you can't do this right now because your computer obviously won't boot right now. But for everybody else listening, you click on Start in the lower left corner. Then you click on that little settings gear, and then you click on System in the control panels. And we should cut a video for this and put it up on the do-it-yourself section, because it's not complex. It's actually really easy, but sometimes walking people through it is real helpful. I had a customer on the Schrock desk the other day, and we went round and around in a circle because we weren't on the Schrock desk. I kept telling her to click Start in the lower left-hand corner, and she said it's not there. And I'm like, come on now. And I'm just thinking she doesn't know what the Start menu is, because it doesn't say Start on it. It's just like the little Microsoft logo. Turns out her menu was vertically oriented on the right-hand side of her screen, so her start menu was actually in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Okay, sorry about that. We got connected on the Schrock desk and then realized, okay, that's what's going on. So we got her fixed up. But you click Start, you click the Settings gear, you click on System, and you click on Power and Sleep. And then in there, on a laptop, there'll be two sets of options, one for battery power, one for AC power. Leave the battery power settings alone. It's okay for it to sleep on battery power because it's going to save your battery life. We want that. But on AC power, we never want it to go to sleep. So if you click on that drop down, you can scroll all the way down to where it says never. Click never and it won't go to sleep anymore. Now, in your particular case, if you click on advanced options, you're going to have a whole bunch of advanced things that you can do. One of the first things that you want to try is using a system restore point to restore your computer back to a previous time. So click on System Restore. Now, this is not Factory Reset. This is not Reset My PC. Those are very different things. This is System Restore. If you click on System Restore, it will look for any System Restore points on your computer, and if it finds any that are viable, it will try to restore your computer back to the point in time when that restore point was made. If the restore fails for some reason, that usually means you have a bad piece of hardware somewhere, a bad stick of memory, a bad hard drive, something along those lines inside the computer that's not working well. On the other hand, a lot of times there's an option in there that says reset this PC. And this is kind of like the last hurrah, Hail Mary default play. When you click on reset this PC, what it does is it saves all of your documents, it saves all of your files, but it reinstalls all of your Windows operating system. So you get a clean install of Windows, all your files are there, but you lose all of your programs. So for example, if you have a Microsoft Word document, you will still have a Microsoft Word document. You just won't be able to open it because you don't have Microsoft Word until you reinstall Word. Then you'll be able to open it again. Now, of course, if you bring it into the service center, there are some more advanced things that we can do when we remove the hard drive from the computer and perform some maintenance tasks on it to make sure it's healthy, to make sure that the file system is not corrupted. There, we can run check disks. There's things that we can do, partition recoveries. There are things that we can do to try to fix that problem. But if you're looking for an at-home do-it-yourself option, those are the first two things I would try if I was in your shoes at home right now.
Okay. I'll give it a try.
All right. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. And if you have trouble, please feel free to bring it into any of the service centers for us to help you out. Right now, we have worked through the October rush in all three service centers, and we have open bench spots in all three service centers right now. So if you have one of those prepaid maintenance certificates, now is the time to bring it in if you want fast turnaround time. If you were thinking about bringing your computer in so we could install this latest Microsoft update to 1809, now is the time to bring that in. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about this 1809 update, what went wrong with it, why it still hasn't been re-released, and what should you do about it? Should you have us install it? Should you be patient and wait for it to install? Should you let Microsoft automatically install it when they're good and ready? Or should you run your safe upgrade and install it that way? We're going to tell you the lowdown and what's going on in one recap summary coming up next on Compute This.
Update all of your third-party apps on your computer with Secure Updater. It keeps all your apps running smoothly and helps block viruses. Download it for free today at secureupdater.com. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. But why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all, so we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the data recovery lab. Starting at only $499, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. Compute This pro tip number 753. Have you ever wondered how the bad guys always seem to find a way into your computer? Gone are the good old days of email worms and I love you viruses. Nobody wants to steal your data anymore, or in many cases, even your identity. Today's cyber criminals want to sell access to your computer or hold your data for ransom. The bad guys are exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities to break into systems that are supposed to be hack-proof. These vulnerabilities are always newly discovered, and the criminals have a brief time to exploit them before they get patched. Antivirus and firewalls do not prevent these attacks, but you can minimize your computer's exposure by installing all security patches as quickly as possible. The average computer needs 12 patches a week. That's not including the ones that are automatically delivered to your computer. Boost your cybersecurity by staying on top of it manually, or use a patch installation program like Secure Updater to get your computer the patches it needs. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
All right, guys, final segment. I saved a little time for this one because we got some stuff to go through here, and we're going to get you some information. So coming up here on the program, we have a caller coming up. His name is also Thor, apparently. So that's interesting. Coming up here on the show as well, we're going to go through the embarrassing list of things that went wrong with this update that weren't all Microsoft's fault, but it was like, oh, my gosh. And then what you should do about it, because they're going to re-release it any day now. I mean, October is almost gone. Depending on when you hear this show, it's either almost gone or just got gone. So we're going to talk about that. Also, what you should look for when you're shopping this holiday season for laptops, desktops, and tablets. All right, 866-496-8772. Thor, welcome to the program. That's kind of weird. I was kind of already here. But how can I help you on Compute This today?
Good morning, you big stud. How are you?
Well, that is how I talk to myself in the morning, too. Very good,
Yeah.
Thor. How are you?
Oh, we'll leave that alone. Great, thanks. All right. Thor, I have this, what has been a pretty powerful laptop computer. It's a Dell XPS 720X, running actually two separate, oh, good golly, hard drives. Can't believe I'm forgetting this, but the fastest hard drives I could find. Anyway,
Yeah, this is a desktop, right?
Non-rotating. No, this is a laptop.
Oh, okay.
But Core i7, Sandy Bridge. You know, it should be, without wasting your time on stuff I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a really fast, and always has been a really fast computer. Well, here a couple of weeks ago, it started this weird deal where it came up and asked basically about changing the display settings. So I set it to what it had wanted, and right about that time, then when I brought it out of sleep, the screen is basically black. It'll flicker a little bit, but essentially it's black. Now, when I do a restart, the regular Windows icon will come up. You get the little spinny thing for a few seconds, but nothing after that.
And you can't ever see anything?
Nothing but a flicker. Now and then you get just the briefest nanosecond of brightness out of it. But I basically run an HDMI cable, excuse me, from this computer to another monitor, and boom, just like that, all of a sudden the monitor works.
Okay, good.
And it doesn't even matter whether the other monitor is turned on or not.
Right.
This monitor will work.
Okay.
So while I've been waiting, in case this is related whatsoever, this keyboard had a backlit. It was a backlit keyboard. Well, that apparently has quit working. And while I was basically got on Facebook to watch the show, there's no volume anymore.
Yep, and I bet you have version 1809 of Windows 10.
Let me. You're probably right.
Yep, the October update.
Yeah. Now I forget how to.
If you right click on the Start menu in the lower left hand corner there, and then left click on System.
There we go. Thank you.
It's all right. That's what we do. We know how to pull up the
I know.
system specs. That's what we do.
Hello. Yeah.
Have you tried turning it off and on again yet, Thor?
Oh yeah, multiple times. Multiple times.
Man.
Let's
Tech
see
support
now.
meme 101 there. All right. So basically,
1803.
you're on 1803. Okay, great. Because all the problems you're describing are all things that can happen to your computer if you're on 1809. If you get a release from Microsoft to get that. So in your case, basically, what I would suggest doing is, obviously, it's good that the monitor is working on the wall there, because if the monitor is working on the wall, that means the computer's graphics card is functioning properly. So the graphics card, the hardware is okay. Now, it's possible that the screen resolution has been set too high for the monitor. You mentioned there was a change of screen resolution. If the screen resolution gets set too high on a monitor that can't support that high of a resolution, for example, if you had the HDMI cable hooked up and it said change the display settings to make it, because this is a really nice, plasma TV or whatever, it may have raised the resolution so high that your monitor on your desktop no longer functions, or on the laptop no longer functions. So basically what you can do is, on that monitor, you have that TV on the wall, drop the resolution settings all the way down, as low as you can, and see if that, after a restart, brings the laptop back. And of course, everything will be big and nasty, and then you can kind of incrementally go up until it fails. The other thing is, if your computer still, after doing that, is not responding, I want you to try to completely remove the graphics adapter, uninstall it. But you can't really do that if you can't get something on the screen. Luckily, you have that second screen. So remember how I had you right-click on Start and then left-click on System? Right-click on Start now and left-click on Device Manager. And you're going to notice this is an alphabetized list of every piece of hardware in your computer. The one you're looking for is Display Adapter, so it'll be under D. There's a little plus there. You click that, it'll expand out, show you all the display adapters. If you click on them and click Delete, if it asks you, do you want to delete software? You don't want to do that, but you want to delete the hardware. Then you restart the computer, and it will automatically redetect and reinstall the hardware at default levels again. So that's a real quick way to take care of that. Same thing with the sound. If you're having trouble with the sound too, delete that while you're in there, restart the computer, let it reinstall the sound drivers. There have been some issues with those lately too. Thank you for the call, Thor. I appreciate it. And we got you in the drawing for the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate as well. All right. At first, I thought he had 1809. Headline, Microsoft, so how did I get this right? I have to read it to get it right. Worst Windows 10 version ever. Microsoft's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad October. Okay, so here's the deal. What went wrong? ZDNet colleague, this is from ZDNet.com, Mary Jo Foley suggests that Microsoft is so focused on new features that it's losing track of reliability and fundamentals. Sounds like the Huskers at the start of the season, Okay, so another guy with an opinion, apparently, at ARS Technica, I don't know what that's, a magazine or a website or what, Peter Bright argues that the Windows development process is fundamentally flawed, or there might be a simpler explanation. I suspect a large part of the blame comes down to Microsoft's over-reliance on one of the greatest management principles of the last half century. What gets measured gets done. What gets measured gets done. New feature development and release gets measured. Bug fix, not so much. That's certainly good guidance principle for any organization, but it also leads to a trap for any manager who doesn't also consider what's not being measured. So if your employees are rewarded based on the measurement of what gets done, the stuff that is not measured doesn't get done. That's what's going on. So basically, what's going wrong with this update? Now, right now, Microsoft had version 1803. The October update upgraded you to 1809. You can check and see which version you have by right-clicking on your start menu down in the lower left-hand corner, except for that one lady that had it up in the top right. And then so when you want more options, you right-click. So right-click on that start menu and then left-click on System. This is going to open up all the information about your computer, how much memory it has, all that stuff, as well as what version of Windows you're running. And you're either running version 1803 or 1809. If you're running a version older than that, your computer has a problem. It needs to come into the shop because you should not be running. I had some guy in on 1709 the other day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like a year old. Why are you not updating? And I tell him, do you want me to update this for you? It's only $80 for me to update this and get you like 2 versions ahead. No, I'll let Microsoft do it automatically. But sir, you don't understand. They've been trying to do it automatically for a year, and it's not happening. Oh, no, I'm sure it's fine. So, our job is to give you options, let you make the decisions. So that's what we do. But basically, the thing with this update 1809 was an embarrassing drip, drip, drip of additional high-profile bug reports and has continued all month long. All right, so some things that aren't working with 1809. Built-in zip file support is not working properly. Most of you don't probably use zip for things, but it's a compression thing. You take a whole bunch of files, you put them together, you zip them up, and you send them somewhere, makes them smaller. That's not the built-in zip function is not working properly. A keyboard driver, the keyboard driver, the most simple driver ever, caused some HP devices to crash with a blue screen of death, which is why when you bring your HPs into Schrock and have us install 1809, we don't have that problem because we know it's the keyboard driver. And so we remove the keyboard driver before we do the installation and everything goes fine. It's amazing, right? If you know what you're doing, you can circumvent a lot of these things. Let's see, next up, some system fonts were broken. So you all of a sudden a font that we used to work in a publication a year ago, you get version 1809, and now your font doesn't seem to work right. What's going on with that? That could be really frustrating for someone doing desktop publishing or something along those lines. Maybe, making a catalog for her slave driver boss. That could be frustrating. Next up, okay, let me see here. Then compounding this, at the same time, Intel pushed the wrong audio driver through Windows Update. So when Intel fat-fingered something and sent the wrong audio file, the driver file, to Microsoft to push out to all the Intel computers running audio, except it was the wrong one. So it caused a lot of people's laptops to suddenly go silent. Oops. So now there's no audio after I do the update. You know what? We know if that happens to replace the audio driver. So we fix it. It's like, so yes, it happened on the bench when we installed this update for you, but then we fixed it. Now, here's the thing. We have this product called Safe Upgrade, and yeah, there's some on the website, whatever. This isn't a sales thing. Safe Upgrade is designed to install this 1809 update for you and to do it safely. So if any of these things are detected, those are things that we can't automatically fix with Safe Upgrade. So your installation will fail. That is why so many of you said, hey, I don't understand what's going on. I bought Safe Upgrade and it's not working. It's not installing the update. What's wrong with this thing? Nothing is wrong with Safe Upgrade. It is Safe Upgrade. If it was guaranteed to install the update and fix every problem that could happen, it would be called Sure Upgrade. But it's Safe Upgrade. It's designed to install this update and do it in a way that makes sure your computer is not going to have problems. If Safe Upgrade can't install it for you at home, then you should bring it in because your computer is going to have a problem when Microsoft pushes it down to you. Now, Microsoft is working on fixes for all this. They are still calling this update the October update. As I mentioned, October is rapidly coming to a close. Depending on when you hear the show, today, you got 3 more days. Yep, 3 more days, not including today. If you hear the show next Sunday, you're 3 days into October or to November already, and you probably are getting the update right now. I would strongly recommend that you do not let Microsoft automatically download this update. So people on Facebook are asking, I keep my computer turned off all the time because I don't want Microsoft to automatically push this update down to me. Totally understand that. Right now, the update is not released. You can leave your computer on. You can use it normally. The update is not released. When the update does get released, it's going to take 24 to 48 hours to push down to everybody. And you better believe when the update comes out, we're going to be, first of all, emailing everybody who has Safe Upgrade to tell them, make sure you run your Safe Upgrade. Right now, we're going to get a new version of it when that update comes out. So we have all the patches too. So try that again. See if it works now. And if it still doesn't work, then your computer really was going to have a problem with it and it needs to come into the shop and be done on the bench. It does cost $30 more to do it on the bench than if you do it yourself at home. But the nice thing is when you have Safe Upgrade, the guarantee, the warranty that you get with that is if you run the update and something goes sideways with it on your computer and causes your computer to go wacky, we fix it for free. So if you came in and said, so I ran this updated, I ran Safe Upgrade at home, Thor, and after the Safe Upgrade was done, I have an HP and my keyboard stopped working. I'm getting a blue screen all the time. I can't type in Word because I don't have any fonts, and I have no sound anymore, and my display brightness is going up and down randomly. We would fix all of that for free because that's a warranty. That's what a warranty is at Schrock. So just a heads up there, guys. That's what's going on. That's what the problems are. Microsoft's going to push it out in October, ready or not. Again, it's going to be a spectacular event. Yeah, I like that. So yeah, it's going to be good to go. All right, now moving on real quick. Last couple minutes here. When you go to buy something for Black Friday, if you're thinking about technology, which is one of the most popular gifts to give somebody for a holiday season, is something technological. The Apple deal where you get a couple $100 off an iPad, that's never a bad deal. The only thing you want to watch out for is if they're old iPads. You know, if they're outdated iPads, if they're a couple gens older, you know, you want to watch out for that. So make sure you're comparing apples to apples. No pun intended. Yeah, that's pretty good there. So that'd be a $250 iPad. Even a refurbished iPad from Apple costs more than $250. Of course, this will be like the 32 gig version. It's not going to have a lot of extra bonus features and stuff. It's going to be pretty basic. It's not going to be the iPad Pro or anything. It's an iPad though, and so for someone who doesn't have an iPad, they would be thrilled to get that iPad. Now, Android tablets. If you're looking at buying an Android tablet, there are going to be no shortage of ridiculously cheap Android tablets. Don't do it. $30 tablet. Don't do it. Do not do it. Just trust me on this. Don't do it. It's going to be a nightmare. All right, laptops and desktops. As we talked about before, the 3x5 card is deceiving. Remember that hard drives have speed, memory has speed, and motherboards have speed. So ask the person, of course, ask the guy at Best Buy, what is the rotational speed of the hard drive? What is the memory clock speed? And what is the speed of the north and south bridge on the motherboard? And I'm sure that, $9 an hour kid's going to be able to tell you anything you need to know. Bottom line is, if the deal is too good to be true, it's cheap for a reason, guys. It is cheap for a reason. Don't buy the $200 laptop. It's all chip on board. You're not going to like it. Today's winner, $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate, is Bonnie. Thank you very much for listening, guys. Stay tuned for the Aftershock on Facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, and we'll see you next week for another edition of Compute This.
From the Millard Roofing Studios, we've got you covered. This is News Radio 1110 KFAB, Omaha, and iHeart.